Just as knowledge, skills and competence evolve in today's digital world, so does what it means to be literate. In order to close the literacy skills gap in Lagos State, officials of the State Ministry of Education have begun a campaign to promote digital literacy in schools. This comes on the heels of the 2017 International Literacy Day.
Literacy basically is the ability to read and write. Being a key component of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, literacy is targeted at ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. According to the United Nations Education, Science and Cultural Organization, at least 750 million adults still cannot read and write, despite efforts by organizations and governments towards advancing the vision of a literate world. About 35 million adults in Nigeria fall in that category. In Lagos alone, 13% of its population, about 3 million people, are not educated and have no access to formal education. To mark this year's Literacy Day, officials of the Lagos State Office of Quality Assurance have been visiting schools to raise awareness on digital education, as in the case of the private school. The idea is to encourage students to read more and get engaged in academic exercises using appropriate technologies that are available to them. Next, the officials visit public schools in Agege, where lectures on digital literacy are delivered.
We can't continue to live in the past. We can't continue to live in history in the past, but we have to move on with the pace.
Pupils also demonstrate their understanding on digital learning by reading stories from e-learning materials provided by the state government.
The same with Kinde. She would not allow her brother to be in another class. They love to be in one place, to be seen together, to play together.
Digital literacy, olden days, we have no phone. We write on paper, learning and writing on paper. And if you want to write message, we write it on paper and go to post office. But nowadays, we use phone. If you want to read, we search for Google. It's easy for us and it's important.
No doubt, digital learning exposes students to more knowledge. Though expensive, child development experts believe it can become a norm in Nigeria.
I believe that we have enough resources in this country to make literacy, digital literacy affordable and available to all the students. If the government is doing its part and private organizations like ours is also contributing their own little quota to the system, I think we'll definitely achieve it.
From what we saw today, you will see that children are actually excited. It's not about the book only. They must be able to actually use the modern things, because we're in digital time, we're in the 21st century where children of this particular time are very, very digital, and so we've got to speak their language. So we haven't got enough, but at the same time you will see that government is trying to have actually given it to 5 schools.
Early exposure of pupils to digital learning could help reduce the literacy gap ahead of the 2030 United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development on Education.
To politics now. Come November the 18th, the people of Anambra State will decide who will occupy the government house for the next 4 years. To prepare for these crucial elections, the governor of the state, Willie Obiano, is asking members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, to step up campaigns for the party, no matter their location. He mentioned this while inspecting the Willie Obiano re-election campaign office in Awka, the state capital.
It's about 2 months to the Anambra State governorship election, when the people will choose their preferred candidate as the state's next chief executive. Already, the heat is on, with several parties having decided on their flag bearers. The incumbent, Governor Willie Obiano, is not leaving anything to chance as he visits the headquarters of his re-election campaign office in Awka, the state capital, to inspect preparations in the various departments. Members of the All Progressive Grand Alliance are happy about the campaign.
at your campaign office, I don't think there's any other candidate that will have this type of campaign office.
Impossible.
Yeah. So this is a demonstration that we are fully prepared for the task ahead. We shall go to every corner of Anambra State, and we assure you that we shall walk around the clock to protect our votes.
Governor Obiano is grateful for the support and challenges party members to up their game.
I want to thank you immensely for this support. I want you to go out very confident with over 1.3 million registered APGA members, plus all the droves of people that are joining us from PDP and APC. You know, we will certainly win this election. One thing I'll charge each member of APGA is to go out there and recruit at least 20 people. Convert, make new 20 converts, and bring them along when you're coming to vote that day.
As the election date draws nearer and with the preparations in full swing, it will be safe to say that the people of Anambra appear poised to have a hitch-free process come November 18.
Women and children are said to suffer more in conflict situations, and the recent tension triggered by agitations across the country is giving some women in Abuja concern. With this in mind, women under the aegis of Women Ambassadors today converge on the nation's capital to pray for peace. According to them, this is the first time, and this is a time to put aside all religious and political differences and come together to foster unity in the country.
This program is all about praying for the nation, those in authority. What we need in this nation is peace and nothing but peace. And we believe that through this prayer, God is going to really work wonders.
Prayer is enough for everything. Let me be bold about that. God can change anything. And there is so much effort going on with the administration, with the youth. You can see that the youth has been also into different activities. And you have eminent people. You have the Sultan, you have the head of the Christian, the Khan, working hard towards peace in Nigeria. Prayer is necessary to bind us together.
Analysts expect the Central Bank of Nigeria to retain key rates when they meet on Monday. Anne has more on this and other business stories now.
Thanks a lot, Melinda. The newly reconstituted Investment and Securities Tribunal has 54 cases pending for adjudication, and these disputes are expected to be cleared within 3 months. Chairman of the tribunal, Mr. Siaka Idoko Ako, made this commitment while explaining his first task on our weekend program, Capital Market.
One note given to us, which we have gone through, we know that we have discovered that there are many cases started which were stopped abruptly because of the decision of the tribunal. There are also new cases that have come in. We have well over 50 cases of such pending. Our first task is to see that these cases are decongested, handled properly within this timeline, 3 months, and then disposed of. That's our first task. And in doing that, we've gone around the courts, what we met on the ground, to ensure that they are okay for us to start our job. And we're also coming up with how to do that. It is our plan to do away with frivolous applications and adjournments.
In less than 48 hours, the central bank will begin its Monetary Policy Committee meeting, and financial experts are already maintaining a consensus on the rates. Analysts at United Capital expect the MPC to retain the monetary policy rate at 14% and leave other parameters unchanged, citing a fragile economic recovery while headline inflation remains stubbornly high. FSDH research suggests that the hold on rates at the next meeting will be appropriate to sustain the current economic growth. Mary Stem Securities also expects rates to remain unchanged. We'll eventually get to know the committee's decision on Tuesday, September the 26th. Let's see how performances from financial markets this week, and we begin with the interbank money market, where overnight rates have increased by 2,583 basis points to 38%. This follows notable withdrawals via OMO auctions worth 275.9 billion naira, forex sales valued at $545 million, and net outflow from NTB auction valued at 75 billion naira. System liquidity has also tightened further from 43.71 billion naira to 193.4 billion naira deficit. The CBN has sold 22.8 million naira of the 98-day bill and 207.6 billion naira of the 196-day bill, which was oversubscribed to investors this week. And next, we move to the Treasury bills segment. The CBN has sold 215.89 billion naira at this week's NTB auction. The mid and long-dated bills are 4 times oversubscribed, reflecting relatively improved liquidity position and increased demand for the one-year bill. Traders have attributed this surge in sales to renewed foreign investors' interests at the auction. But earlier this week, investors were upbeat in the secondary market as average yield contracted by 26 basis points to 17.2% against 17.52% last week, following stable liquidity positions. And we move to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, where the third trading week of September has ended with a 1.38% increase in the all-share index and a 1.37% increase in the total value of equities. The share price of Linkage Assurance is top among 25 gainers, with Nigerian Animal Wear leading 34 losers, and 111 equities remained unchanged. Total transactions for the week stands at 1.09 billion units of shares, worth over 17.85 billion naira from 16,070 deals. From there, we move to the bond market, where activities have ended the week in mixed performance and average yields contracting by 26 basis points to 16.04%, owing to a relative improvement in system liquidity. Yields at the short, mid and long segments of the curve contracted as investors demanded for a 29 June 2019, a 27 January 22 and 17 March 2027 bonds, respectively. With the expiration of the federal government's 100 billion naira sukuk offer, which of course was extended till Friday, investors had better opportunity to participate in the subscription. The new settlement date for the offer is on Tuesday, September the 26th, 2017. Thank you for watching Business News this week. Thank you so much. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, Confederation of African Football strips Kenya of hosting rights for the 2018 African Nations Championships. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.